Tonight on CTV News, ruptured gas pipe causes chaos in the city. Locals are upset by the latest child poverty figures, and we've got the details on who's made the Crusaders lineup.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening to you. A gas leak brought inner city Christchurch to a standstill this afternoon. Cordons were placed across several blocks and many businesses and schools were forced to close early. In a statement released by Skirt this afternoon, they've confirmed a piping crew ruptured the pipe and now a full investigation is underway. Marcus Gibbs was at the scene.
Christchurch roads closed and hundreds evacuated. Morehouse Avenue and Barbados Street becoming a hive of activity as emergency services work to contain a gas leak. Dozens of construction workers forced to take an extended lunch break following the major evacuation. Aaron Walker was working at a CPIT construction site near the leak. He says a gas pipe was ruptured by a digger during roadworks on Morehouse Avenue.
I just saw the gas coming up through the hole in the ground, and then the firemen turned up. All seemed pretty casual about it. We're pointing, waving at each other, and then they just started to spray it with the water.
Such was the severity of the leak that an entire block was evacuated.
You know how dangerous propane is?
It looked like a lot of gas was coming out of the hole. Yeah.
I'm not really sure. We saw cop cars that way. There's been police everywhere, so I'm not really even sure where we're allowed and where we're not allowed.
Police officers were kept busy as a horde of vehicles tried to make it down Barbados Street. Students had to reluctantly leave class as CPIT closed its doors earlier than usual.
I was doing some work and out of nowhere they just tell us that we have to evacuate, get out of there, so we're on our way home now.
Roads were blocked with heavy traffic, forcing some students to find a new way home.
So we can't even catch the bus now. We have to walk to the bus station, so it's quite disappointing. We have to walk all the way over there.
The drama was over by the time the 5 o'clock rush hit. The cordons were taken down around 3:30 and the area was given the all clear. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
One of Canterbury's best export earners, yes, I'm talking about the Crusaders, announced their 2015 lineup today. Gordon Finlater was at the media briefing.
This morning I went down to the Christchurch football club rooms where the country's top 2 oversaturated mediums were being combined: rugby and cooking competitions. Yes, the Crusaders had planned their own cooking competition as part of their announcement for next year's Super Rugby squad. I was teamed up with Todd Blackadder and Willie Hines. Our cooking table gave us some pancakes and what I would describe as being below par camping utensils to prepare our dish. The biggest new name for this coming season is hardly a new one. After a year away with the Chiefs, Robbie Fruean was lured back to the Crusaders on the premise that he would get a taste of my famous strawberry salmon pancakes.
Was it salmon? Is it salmon?
Yeah. Oh, salmon? Give it a try.
Okay. I think strawberry, a new ingredient to put on your salmon, eh? All right, imagine smoked salmon.
We put a lot of thought in.
Oh, it's amazing,
The powerful centre is looking forward to getting back into the red and black jersey.
I was already getting a lot of texts from the boys and getting the call from the coaches saying that they'll be keen to have me back if I was keen. So I was definitely felt the love there, and I mean just in regards to trying to get into the squad, it's going to be a good tough competition.
Fruean's season with the Chiefs got off to a flying start with a game-winning try against his old club. This was before a reoccurring heart problem struck, putting Fruean's rugby future into limbo. Robbie explained that his season in Waikato came with some positives.
It was definitely a tough setback. I mean, physically, it wasn't really going to be a battle. You know, I just had to take my time and just do a lot of training. But I mean, mentally, I think it was a massive battle. I mean, I don't think I really tackled it properly. at the time. But I mean, looking back now, I kind of learned a lot. And I mean, going away and being a part of the Chiefs of mine was good. Obviously learned a lot from Wayne Smith in regards to defence, and so now I was happy that I got the opportunity to work under him.
Other new names for the coming season include Northland's Fijian speedster Johnny McAulay, Hawke's Bay hooker Jed Robinson, and lock Scott Barrett, who has been promoted after spending last year in the wider training squad. Coach Todd Blackadder is looking forward to working with the new team members.
Robbie Fruean's back to the future, isn't it? He's great, he's back, he's got his health back, and he's an explosive player, abrasive. We're delighted to have him home again. Johnny Mathalai, he's fantastic. He's got a good step, he's got some real gas, he's a game breaker. He's one of those sort of instinctive Fijian players, a bit like Nemani, he's just a smaller version. But he's a good tough tackler. He puts his head in a hard place and he'll do really well for us. And we've got Scott Barrett, who played so well against England for the Crusaders early in the season, and he's just gone strength to strength, and we've seen him in ITM Cup just get better and better. And Jed Robinson, so Jed's played for Hawke's Bay, he's a really established, experienced hooker, and he'll do a great job.
The team will start training towards the end of this year with their first competitive match at home to the Melbourne Rebels on February 13. If you're interested as to how the Pancakes went in the competition, the team came in dead last. As always, though, there were positives to take away, being awarded a solid 9 out of 10 for taste. Robbie Fruean was believed to be on the judging panel.
That salmon's pretty good, eh?
Gordon Finlater, CTV Sport.
The Christchurch City Council has shut up shop, refusing to speak to media about the future of controversial company Strategic Pay. It's been revealed the advisory company is still being used by the council despite massive opposition from the public. Christchurch Mayor Leanne Dalzell said yesterday she was strongly opposed to using Strategic Pay and was simply unaware they were still being used. But later, a spokeswoman confirmed the council was still using them. Now, this is the company who recommended an almost $200,000 salary boost for the Littleton Port boss and Tony Marriott's controversial pay rise. Well, still to come, ECAM responds to harsh criticism about its commissioners, and protesters are ramping up their efforts in the fight against a controversial international agreement.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Blackwells has a proud history presenting leading vehicle brands, extensive backup and service for a total one-stop driving experience. Holden, Mazda and HSV new and used vehicle sales, servicing, parts, paint and panel, Isuzu truck sales and service, all together in one convenient location. More selection, more value, more quality and more reasons to make Blackwells your number one choice. Visit Blackwells today, corner Waterloo Racecourse Road, Sockburn, or online at blackwells.co.nz.
organisers of a protest against the government's involvement in the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement are gearing up for what they say will see thousands marching through Christchurch. Joel Batista spoke to some of them.
The cries of thousands of New Zealanders fighting for a change.
They are changing the rules of the game so that corporations will always win in some courtroom or offshore tribunal.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement currently in negotiation to try trade with 11 other countries in the Pacific region. Christchurch protest spokesperson Genda Spar says while the nation's leaders may believe the agreement is right, she believes the agenda is not helpful for everyday New Zealanders.
We're not being allowed to know what is going on, so we're not being allowed to comment on it. It's just kind of bulldozing through things that may affect us a lot that we have no control over.
Trade Minister Tim Grosser says there will always be opposition to trade agreements and the TPP is nothing new. Minister Grosser says historically New Zealand has a strong and highly successful bipartisan approach to trade going back at least 3 decades. When asked what her message to Prime Minister John Key would be, Genda Spar says there's no point.
I have talked directly to him and he is not prepared to listen at all. So I don't see any point in trying to have a conversation with him.
At the upcoming protest on November 8 in Christchurch, Genda Spar says she expects protesters to number more than 15,000. There are currently 12 countries involved in the agreement negotiations. Genda Spar says there are also protests in these other countries.
And this is an international movement. This isn't just in New Zealand that it's happening. People all over the world are really unhappy about these kinds of deals.
One of the main concerns is that through the TPP agreement, foreign investors will have the right to sue the New Zealand government. Genda Spar believes this has already begun in Australia. She says the Philip Morris Tobacco is suing regulation passed about plain packaging of cigarettes.
The system of where corporations will be able to sue governments, so for any regulations that governments pass that may affect their future profits, they will be able to sue the government over.
Minister Tim Grosser says the agreement is crucial for New Zealand because international trade and investment underpin our economic performance. Leaders met again in 2 weeks. Genda Spar is calling for New Zealanders to stand up and not let the government leaders sell out.
You know, I really think that this is selling New Zealand out. We are selling out our ability to be self-determining New Zealanders with our own ideas about how things should go and what we care about.
The Kiwis Fight Back March will take place in Christchurch at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, 8th of November.
We will say to them and we will say to the US Embassy up there, shame, shame, shame!
Joel Batista, CTV News.
More than 600 people have taken up the government's $3,000 to Christchurch employment scheme since it began nearly 3 months ago. The government incentive scheme pays cash to those wanting to relocate to the city and help with the rebuild. Now, many of those jobs are in the construction sector, followed by transport, warehousing and manufacturing. The government is now also considering extending the scheme to other parts of the country where there are high employment demands. Well, farmers remain less than impressed with Environment Canterbury. A new report has just been released on the state of the agency, and while some improvements have been made, there's still a lot of work to do to restore public confidence.
Implementing the Canterbury water management strategy has left farmers feeling forgotten.
With so much going on, we're undoubtedly making mistakes and not getting connections as good as we could do. It's for us to go out and work with them and work out how to improve them.
That's feedback from a report commissioned by Environment Canterbury, looking at relationships between ECAN and stakeholders.
So what we're looking for is, are we any good as staff at communicating and engaging?
The Research First report states farmers never see or hear from ECAN, and farmers can be ignored. Currently, the Canterbury water management strategy will change the way farmers operate, introducing strict nitrogen limits. ECAN's Chief Executive Bill Bayfield wasn't surprised by the comments.
No, not at all surprised because of the amount we're doing, the pace that we're moving at as we implement the water management strategy. I think, in actual fact, I thought the comments were pretty positive, things we could build on.
But is ECAN racing ahead too fast?
We get that question asked of us quite regularly, but no. In my view, the momentum is with us at the moment, and water is too important in Canterbury not to address it.
Democracy was lost in 2010 when the elected Environment Canterbury councillors were sacked for dragging their heels over water management and resource consent issues. Government-appointed commissioners stepped in to take over. The report claims changes made over the past 4 years continue to improve relationships and interactions with stakeholders.
No, I thought it was a slow build. It showed from 2 years ago to now, the stakeholder surveys, the stakeholders told us that we were doing better. Still got some things to fix, but we were doing much better.
Collaboration hasn't filtered down to the lower levels of the organisation, stating the regulatory side needs to get its head around the books and think about solutions and exercise common sense. Mr Bayfield's hoping for better collaboration and communication with the smaller NGOs and groups regarding zoning committees.
To work out how we can push information out from the zone committees to them, because of, again, the pace we're moving at, I'm worried we're leaving some people behind.
Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Timaru residents are being urged to dig deep for a service that was once the first of its kind. This week marks 50 years since Timaru became the first place in this country to build a social centre for visually impaired residents. It opened in 1964. This centre will be holding a street appeal on Friday and Saturday to raise money to continue its good work. Well, still to come, history repeats itself with the Arts Centre. We'll explain that story shortly, and your local weather.
Just 7 minutes north of Christchurch, Silverstream is a unique residential community carefully planned and developed within a rich natural environment. A family home or terraced villas, Silverstream offers a wide range of living options for every stage of life. The show homes are open. You can select your section, design your home and choose your builder. Purchase a house and land package or the terraced villa for streamside living. Silverstream, a community for everyone. It's closer than you think.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Blackwells has a proud history presenting leading vehicle brands, extensive backup and service for a total one-stop driving experience. Holden, Mazda and HSV new and used vehicle sales, servicing, parts, paint and panel, Isuzu truck sales and service, all together in one convenient location. More selection, more value, more quality and more reasons to make Blackwells your #1 choice. Visit Blackwells today, corner Waterloo Racecourse Road, Sockburn or online at blackwells.co.nz.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Welcome back to CTV News. Well, it may be hard to believe, but children in this country are still going to school hungry and cold. And a new report says the situation for many families is at breaking point. Emma Cropper reports.
New Zealand's record on tackling child poverty has barely changed in the past 5 years. A report by UNICEF shows children living in poverty in the country only dropped from 18.8% in 2008 to just 18.4% in 2012.
Do you think we've got a problem with poverty in the country?
We have, but we shouldn't have.
In some places, yes.
Everywhere you go now, everybody's talking about poverty, and it's a real shame to see the children living in the conditions that we've been hearing about.
Well, I think we have. There always seems to be children going to school without any breakfast and things like that.
UNICEF's Children of the Recession report looks at the impact the global financial crisis had on child wellbeing in 41 OECD and EU countries. UNICEF figures show that youth unemployment has gone up and more New Zealanders admit they don't have enough money to buy food.
Well, I think it's up to the parents, isn't it? And they have children, they've got to look after them.
Australia, Poland and Chile top the list of countries making the most progress in child poverty, while New Zealand ranked much lower on 16.
Yes, we're kind of shocked just to hear what's going on out there.
Social Development Minister Anne Tolley told Radio New Zealand's Morning Report that New Zealand has yet to see the effects of a $500 million package aimed at children in the last budget. The government has no target figure to reduce child poverty, but believes reducing the number of people dependent on welfare should improve the situation.
I think we're getting worse. We're becoming a lot more aware.
They tax us, so they must use the money wisely. Hopefully.
A spokesperson for UNICEF says the report shows that governments which acted quickly at the beginning of the recession and put the right policies in place did the best. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
It's back to the future for Christchurch's iconic arts centre. Several Canterbury University departments will be relocated to the centre, and as Joel Batista reports, it's not the first time.
The vision of having music made in this space, in the heart of Christchurch, with our musicians, our students and our staff working with our students, with music from the university becoming central to the musical activity in the city again, is very exciting.
The University of Canterbury began in the 1870s. It was housed on the Arts Centre site for 100 years. After suffering severe damage in the 2011 earthquakes, the Arts Centre began a $290 million 7-year restoration program. There are currently over 100 contractors on site daily and 25 stonemasons working to restore the historic buildings. Out of the city's 309 heritage buildings, only 165 remain after the Christchurch earthquakes.
It was the home of the university for about 100 years. Those magnificent old buildings housed exactly the sorts of departments that we house here now. What we're doing is we're moving a couple of departments in the university to the old chemistry building in the Arts Centre.
A tenancy agreement announced this week will see the music, classic and arts departments move into the Arts Centre Chemistry building. Arts Centre Chief Executive Andre Lovett anticipates the return of the university facility to the city will be an incredible boost for the surrounding cultural precinct. An important feature of the development will be the James Logie Memorial Art Collection. Made up of more than 350 Greek and Roman artefacts, some of the display dates back to 7th century BC.
The fact that we could bring to this endeavour a wonderful collection of ancient art for everybody to come in off the street and view is a great opportunity.
Mr. Lovett says welcoming back a new generation of students is a fitting way to celebrate both the past and future of education and the arts in the city. The chemistry building will be leased for the next 8 years. Located on Hereford Street, the building was completed in 1910.
It's a beautiful space. The light comes in the windows. There's an airiness to it and a strong sense that we're returning home.
The university is hoping to bring thousands of people into the central city site with music performances, public seminars and community events.
We'll have visiting specialists and scholars. There'll be short courses, there'll be seminars, presentations and talks, and it'll be an opportunity for all sorts of community projects that we really want to engage with and that will help the university work in with the community, which is a top priority for us.
A fundraising campaign has been set up. The university is asking the community to get involved.
We have a target of $1.5 million, and that's to adjust the interior of the space so that it can do the things that we want it to do, which is house those academic departments and have teaching spaces within it, but most importantly have an area for the Logie collection to be on display in what will be state-of-the-art display cases, a really effective recital room for the School of Music, and other specialised spaces that you need for educational purposes.
The restoration work on the chemistry building is expected to be finished in April next year. The university will then spend the next 5 months refitting the interior. Joel Batista, CTV News.
Fantastic news. Now time for the region's weather.
Starting in Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, 16 degrees. Methven and Ashburton, 16 today. Same for you, Rakaia, 16. Darfield, 16. Leeston and Rolleston hit a warmer high on 18 degrees. Looking at Lincoln and Christchurch, hope you enjoyed the sunshine, hitting a high of 18. Heading over to Akaroa, you hit a high of 18 degrees for your Wednesday. Moving north, Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley, a warm day for you with a high of 18. In the Hurunui district, Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot hit one of the region's lows with 16. At the top in Kaikoura, warmer weather for you, hitting 18 degrees today. But let's look at tomorrow. In Timaru, fine for your Thursday with sunny periods and high cloud and freshening westerly winds, hitting 7 degrees overnight and 19 throughout your day. In Ashburton, a fine mild day ahead with westerly winds developing and some high cloud as well. 7 degrees overnight and 19 throughout your day. Enjoy a fine Thursday in Christchurch with sunny periods and high cloud and winds tending westerly during the afternoon. 7 degrees overnight, hitting a high of 19 during the day. Kaikoura, fine and sunny with high cloud increasing during the day. Expect westerly winds to develop. 7 degrees overnight, 18 throughout your day. Looking at other areas around the region, Temuka and Geraldine expect cloud with a high of 17. Methven and Rakaia, cloud for most parts of the day with a high of 17. Darfield, cloudy with a low of 7. Leeston, Rolleston and Lincoln expect the region's high of 19 degrees. Over in Akaroa, cloudy with a high of 19 for your Thursday. Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley hitting an overnight low of 7 and high of 19. And the top in Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, cloudy with a high of 17 degrees. And looking ahead for what's in store for the rest of Canterbury. Cloudy on Friday morning with showers and moderate cold southerly winds. Showers clearing during the afternoon with cloud breaking with winds tending easterly. Mostly fine and sunny on Saturday with moderate northeasterlies and milder temperatures expected. Thick high cloud on Sunday with warm temperatures and strong gusty northerly winds tending northwesterly. Mild at first on Monday with fresh northwesterlies and high cloud. Showers and fresh cold southwesterly winds will develop during the afternoon. And that's your region's weather for this Wednesday.
And that's CTV News. Have a great night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.